Hey, everybody. Welcome to Your Time to Thrive with Jason Stevenson.
Let's just
Hey, Jay.
what's going on, sir?
Oh, not much. What are you up to?
About 5'8". Doctor says 5'7.5". You
Get
can't.
out.
Yeah, sorry, you can't softball lob that terrible jokes at me.
Get
Goodness
out.
gracious.
What are we talking about today, sir?
Quality over quantity. What are we doing with our focus, our fitness, and our food?
I don't know. You tell me.
That is the question, isn't it? Like, what are you doing? Oftentimes, and people ask me, this is why I came up with this today as a conversation, because I had this conversation yesterday. People ask me, like, is 30 minutes enough? Is an hour enough? How long should I work out for? Or, what should I be eating? Some blanket questions. And you know me, I'm going to ask questions after that. So the answer is always the best you can do, pursuant to like the 5 minutes is enough conversation. But it's more about what you're getting from that. So relative to your workouts and relative to your food, what are you getting from it? What is that serving you? Is 5 minutes of stretching the best you can do today? And that's the best you can do. And that's towards your long-term goals to create a good starting your day habit of getting some range of motion in and, focusing on your health and your fitness. Or is your food, what are you eating today? Am I just eating because I'm grabbing something and I'm hungry and then I grab convenience food? Or am I eating because I know that my body is a result of what I put in it and my long-term goals are to feel healthy and strong and have a high quality of life? So it's a deeper question than just how long should I work out for or what should I eat for breakfast, you know?
Right. Um. So, like? Is it better to make a full plan ahead of time to because a lot of what you're saying is like, am I just grabbing something quick? Well, if you're just grabbing something quick, it's probably because you didn't plan ahead, and
Yeah.
it's probably because you're doing all this unconsciously. So, what is the best way to make sure that you are doing things of quality, and not just trying to get to the next moment?
Then the answer is yes. Of course, always plan. And of course, there's always that disclaimer that the best laid plans. But the perfect world scenario, which is what you want to start with, you want to start with the ideal, like think big, plan big, set your sights on having an amazing week of food or an amazing month of fitness and plan it, like schedule it out. How many of us live on these things that they're scheduled? Like, this is my day. These are my hours. Plan your day, schedule food, schedule prep time, schedule your workout, even if it shrinks or moves, or the best laid plans and you go to the supermarket and they don't have good quality steak, like whatever your alterations to those plans are, at the very least, you have still placed something in front of you that is your goal, that is your aspiration to achieve. And you can kind of sideline it a little bit, but you want to plan, of course. Then you at least have a better path to success. You
Right.
can veer off. There's always detours. My plan was to work out at 3:30 today. I got somebody jumped on the schedule. Now I'm going to work out at 4:30. Well, that's okay. My plan was to get up today and make breakfast. I slept in a little bit. I'm not going to make breakfast, but I plan to have backup. So I have bars, so you get bars for breakfast. At least you have plans, you know?
Um, what do you do if you don't stick to your own plans?
You mean personally me or like in general
In
you?
general, yeah, whatever. In general, you personally, whatever helps.
I think that the first step is what we've talked about in the past, is to enlist help. If you find yourself like, all right, I made this plan, I didn't stick to it. I made this plan, I didn't stick to it. One, I think you need to reset your plan because it's obviously not in line with your life, right?
Yeah.
Because we could have the best, I plan to grow out braids, right? That's going to work. So I got to reset that, right? Like realign your goals with your current life. It doesn't mean that long-term goal has to change in its entirety. It just means that you need to readjust it right now, and be realistic.
Yeah.
Because that's the quality choice. Like, if I can't choose the best food choice, then I'm going to do the best portion choice I can. If I can't choose the best duration for my workout time, then I'm going to get the best workout I can for the time I have available. So if you can't hit what your plan was, at least your fallback was your plan and you're still on the path. But if you find yourself repeatedly like hitting a wall and I'm not getting my plan hit and I'm not hitting my goals and I'm not able to achieve the repetition of workouts or the whatever applies to whatever we're talking about here, whether it's the food or the focus or meditation, if you're continuously missing, you need to readdress the weapon that you're utilizing for your target, right? So if I keep missing the baseball ball, then I need a bigger bat or I need a better swing. I need to step back, get out of the batter's box and readjust, see what I'm not paying attention to. I have a client that a good friend who's been trying to get up early and work out. They're trying to find this schedule. Like, they know working out in the morning is the best time because then they don't have any other scheduling conflicts. They're not exhausted by the end of the day. They can get it going. They don't have any other disruptions in their life. They can get up and work out in their living room. They got plenty of space. They got plenty of opportunities. But the best laid plans, they're just not a morning person. It's just not going to happen. So what do? You acknowledge that, address it, and then readjust. Okay, well, I'm not a morning person. I'm not going to be able to get up and work out every morning. Well, then when can you? When is the best time on your schedule for you to work out? Because then you need to readdress. Now I can get my habit started. And now if I'm working out 3 days a week and say it's midday at lunch, I'm doing half an hour of something 3 days a week. Now I've created that habit. Do that for 30 days. And now maybe we readjust that time a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit before lunch. Now I can do it 3 days a week before lunch. You know what I mean? Like, you can always work back and eventually adjust your circadian rhythms, but you have to purposefully pay attention to the roadblocks. Is this a roadblock that's literally stopping me? Well, you can keep smashing your head against the same brick wall, or you can look for doors and windows. That's always my suggestion. When that path is disrupted, when that plan is disrupted, how is it being disrupted? What's disrupting your plan? Is it you? Or is it something else?
Yeah. Dana says planning is daunting. I try to break it down to actions.
Yes, huge. Thank you, Dana. Next step, right? So if you're going to make a plan, like a road trip, I'm going to drive to California. I'm going to end up in LA several days from now. You can't just say, I'm going to go to LA if you really plan on actually stopping, enjoying the drive, knowing you have enough money for gas, knowing you know where you're going to stop or what you're going to see along the way. So you need to break it down. That's the great way to adjust your plan and be able to adapt to those hitches, those catches. Because if you're driving down the road and your plan was to stay on 95 and now there's construction and you don't have any ability to bounce, then you're just stuck waiting in traffic behind the construction. If you have the ability to bounce a little bit and roll with it and adjust your plan accordingly, you can take a detour. It's okay. You're going to get back onto the highway, but be willing to do that and adjust, because you can't change the logistics of what's going on in front of you on the road. You can adjust where you're driving the car. So take those small steps, break it down into those small actions. I love it, Dana. Absolutely love it.
Thank you, Dana. Dana always has great input. So, okay, what is the I don't know. I'm kind of like I want like a full reset right now for myself.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So well, I guess this is the part of the show where we usually break into me anyway. So we might as well do it right now. So I did start the eating small throughout the day thing, and that feels good. It's
what's
difficult.
working? Yeah, what's working? What's not working?
So I think that I need I need things around me, right? Because I've created a system. There are many like fail points in this system for me,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to figure out the best way to get rid of them. And I'm not sure what it is. So like maybe alarms on my phone as a reminder, or having things physically near me, because what happens is we move to this house, and the basement is like, there's my room, and then there's my office, and then there's like a living room area, and like it's all, and the food is all upstairs, and the water is all upstairs. And when I'm in, like when I start my day, when I'm working, I don't, like, the day can get away from me really quick,
Yeah.
and then it becomes like 3 p.m. and I haven't eaten anything, and then that is the thing that makes you want to like have too much food at that point, or not the right amount of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're hungry.
Yeah, because then it gets to be like 3 p.m. and you're like, well, crap,
Yeah.
and now I'm really hungry, and so like I don't know if, but there's a lot of points during the day where I don't have time to go up and do that stuff,
Yeah.
because I have a meeting or a show or whatever, and or then I get busy on a project and I forget about it. Um, so like, what are some ways to make sure that I like get on that track and stay on that track, if that makes sense?
Of
Like
course.
how, like I don't know what I need to do. Like, do I need to buy a mini fridge and put veggies in it next to my desk? Like, what do I need to do here?
I was literally picturing a mini fridge as you were talking. Now, not that I want to create a world where you're isolated in that sense. So I think if we talk about it long term as a solution, it's going to be like a catch. It's going to be a fallback. It shouldn't be your primary spot. Like, it should be small enough that it has like readily available snacks in it and some waters for like the day, but it shouldn't be like Ben's fridge. You know what I
Right,
mean? Because we
right,
don't want to eliminate that process. You don't want to eliminate the social. You don't want to eliminate you actually having food prepped, because otherwise we get into the world where you're eating a lot of like bars and shakes and stuff like that, because that would be convenient, easy, and you can keep that ready close to you.
right,
Because that's quality over quantity. We want whole food over packaged food as much as possible. However, I think that that's a great solution, because if you have water chilling literally next to you, and you have fresh fruit and fresh vegetables chilling literally next to you, then it's a quick grab and go. It could literally sit next to you under your desk or someplace close enough to you that if you're in the middle of a show, you can reach down and grab some of that stuff. Um,
What are your thoughts on eating the exact same thing every day?
that's a great question, actually, because a lot of people ask that. It's got to work for you. It's
Mhm.
a great way. For me, honestly, if you prep and all right, so this week, because it doesn't have to be every day for the rest of your life, it's just this week, right? Because that food's going to go bad. So if you prep up something and you make, like, I'm going to eat this for breakfast this week, and I'm going to prep something for lunch, and I'm going to eat that for lunch this week. That's called food prep. That makes sense. You take one day and a week, and it's only, I mean, you talk shop, prep, cook, package. You're talking maybe 2-3 hours of your day if you're doing it right, right? We're not talking about like gourmet cooking here and lots of layers of sauces and things. But if you roast off some chicken breasts, you grill off some vegetables, you chop up some vegetables for a salad, and you prep some egg muffins, like muffin tins, like frittata,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
scrambled eggs, veggies, that kind of thing. That's not going to take you that long to prep. And then every day you get up and I have these egg muffins, and I have I don't know, whole grain bread with it, make a nice breakfast and a piece of fruit. And then you prep up some grilled vegetables and some grilled chicken for lunch, big fat salad. And then you prep up some dinner. You do the same thing, bake some potatoes off, do some steak. I mean, you could eat the exact same thing every day for that week. And then you're done. You're portioned, you're clean, you're set up, you're ready. And there's no question. And then the solution, like you just said, is you have that in the fridge next to you. So when you're in the middle of a show, you can grab it, grab that prep salad. I do that all the time. honestly, I'll prep up a piece of my food for the week, whether it's just the protein or just the veg, or I'll prep up stuff for my fiance. We did that this weekend because we've got cucumbers and tomatoes like everybody that did a garden this year growing crazy. So we did a cucumber tomato salad, some fresh basil, a little balsamic. That's prepped in the fridge. Diced up some mozzarella cheese, fresh mozzarella cheese from the farmer's market. Love it. And that's her lunch for this week. It's one of her favorite things in the world to eat is a caprese salad. Now, that's prepped in little containers for her. So when she gets up in the morning and grabs her container and goes to work, she's happy, done. And then she doesn't have a whole day of like, oh, I didn't know what I was going to grab. I grabbed this to go, or I forgot to grab lunch, or I didn't have enough time in the morning because I had a closing early. I didn't grab lunch. It's ready. Yeah. So yes, just think simple and whole foods.
Right.
Right? Like whole grains, whole vegetables, like think simple and whole foods. Because two things. One, people get frustrated and bored of eating the same thing all week. So if you prep simple, even if it's just that grilled vegetable and grilled chicken example, by the end of the week, if I'm a little bored of that, I can add something to that basic recipe that changes it dynamically, whether it's just some basil or some cilantro or just a couple shots of hot sauce on that chicken. Now that tastes exponentially different than it did on Monday, and I'm not bored of the same food.
When you meal prep, how, like, if you grill chicken on Sunday, how long is that going to last? Is that
You're
going to,
good.
that's
You're good for the week, easily.
okay. It will last until the next, Saturday or whatever.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But remember, you want to cook it all the way. We're not par cooking anything in that sense
Right.
because you don't want anything raw that's sitting for that long. And my
Right.
suggestion is always to package. So it's also why you see stuff like any kind of Instagram stuff or Facebook where somebody's saying, I did my food prep. They've got all the containers out because one of the clutch pieces of that lasting is putting it in its own individual container that you're then sealing that day. And then you don't touch that again until you open it. Because if you do a big bowl of veggie prep, like I was just talking about that salad I made for Kirst, if we make that bowl of salad and then every day I scoop into it, and then the next day I open it up and scoop into it. Every time you open that up, you're adding air and the potential for bacteria and the potential for cross-contamination. So my suggestion is if you're going to batch cook and prep like that, buy some specific plastic containers that are portioned out for you. I like the ones that have like two containers, hold like two compartments in it.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're putting together.
Like the bento boxes.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Then take that food and prep it and put it in those containers, and then you just close them up, throw them in the fridge, and you're good. There's some foods like seafood and fish like that that's not going to last that long. You want to be careful with steaks, but especially with the whole foods, the cleaner the food is, the longer it's going to last. I mean, have you ever bought something from a farmer's market? I buy stuff all the time at the farmer's market, and that stuff lasts for weeks. And I could buy romaine lettuce at the supermarket, and I was like, 5 days later, it's dying in the fridge.
So I tried to put together like a heart healthy food plan for the day and like switch things out generically,
I like it.
But so can I just go through it and you can
Yeah.
tell me what you think?
Do it. What do you got?
All right. So I started with like 7 a.m. Water. All of these start with drinking cold water first. So 7 a.m. like carrots and celery with like almond butter.
Awesome.
9 a.m. a smoothie with seeds and berries, almond butter, banana, spinach, oats.
Oh,
11 a.m. Spinach salad with grilled chicken and like oil and vinegar.
yep.
1 p.m. would be my biggest thing of the day because that's when I get hungry.
Yeah.
Which would be like brown rice and grilled veggies with sweet potato.
Love it.
And then at 3 p.m. would be like a rice cake with almond butter or like a crushed avocado. 5 p.m. would be just the veggies, just like grilled veggies with some oil or something, like some fats. And then 7 p.m. would be basically the same thing as 7 a.m. And then that would be it for the day.
It's without going too crazy here, man. You're giving me the chills. I love it. Absolutely amazing. There's lots of whole food in that. There's lots of great nutrients. You're getting good protein sources from multiple places, and you're getting some really good fats. Love it.
Okay.
Give it a shot. And here's the thing. You're going to know if it works if you eat it and you feel good, you feel satiated, you feel happy, you look forward to it.
Right.
Did you punch that into your tracker?
I did, and it is like 20. It's starting to rain. That is not cool. It's like 2200.
Okay. That's good.
21, 2200,
I
which
love
is,
it.
and I mean, my fitness pal tells me that I should be at like 3200.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you know, I want a more drastic results than that once anyway. So, but do you think that that's fine? Like that's enough, and just like keep track of how I feel?
So yes, that's the answer right there. I love the food choices. I love the portion. I love the spread. I love the idea that you're eating fresh as much as possible. Textures and flavors and colors in there sound amazing. And I love how it's adaptable. You know, there's a lot of pieces to that you can say, all right, I really liked that, but I don't want to eat the same thing next week. So what am I going to do to that? Right.
Yeah.
But how am I going to modify that so it's still clean, it's still nutritious, but it's not the same thing that I ate last week?
Yeah.
You change out your greens, change out your proteins, change out your veggies. You know, that would be my strong suggestion on that. When you make your roasted vegetables, or like you do a grilled vegetable thing, don't do every vegetable in the bin. You know, pick something like I'm going to grill zucchini this week, or I'm going to roast carrots this week. Because if you roast parsnips, carrots, sweet potatoes, you know, like if you roast a whole bunch of the same root vegetables every week, then next week it's going to be the same ones. And then the next week is going to be the same ones. And then after that, you're going to, I don't want those roasted vegetables, you know? So find it as simple as possible. And that's one of my favorite principles is keep it simple.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Cool. I love it. Absolutely love it, man.
Thanks,
quality,
Steve.
baby. Quality. Right.
Yes.
Right.
All right, now let's switch to quality over quantity when it comes to workouts. Explain your theory on that. Like, what's the because again, all right, now I'll say what I've been thinking in addition to that is I heard I was listening to someone I don't remember who it was talk about like lightweight repetition every day so that you get to like 80% of your, you know, you never like max out, but that way you can do it every day.
Yeah.
And so because I really like to do the same like 14 things in a rotation, as you know.
Yeah.
And so like, would that be what is the best workout plan, keeping quality over quantity, and that will have like the maximum results that I can do with the diet that I just laid out for you?
All right. So remember, there's no perfect workout, right? So the answer is the workout that you can repeat, the workout that you're excited about, the workout that keeps you motivated is the best workout. Because there is no perfect workout. There is no, I mean, you can read all over the internet that they've got the 5 best exercises for guys or like the exercises for weight loss. Here's the thing. When you talk about strength training, it is literally time under stress. We're trying to tax our muscles and cheat them into thinking that there's more gravity, essentially, in that they will then adapt to that increase in gravity perception and become stronger. That's it. So how much time can I put my muscles under stress in order to elicit the proper response is the direct proportionate relationship that we're looking for. So that's specifically speaking with strength training. It's the same thing with cardio as far as our heart and our lungs working. We're trying to challenge our heart and our lungs in order to elicit the proper response that we're trying to achieve. Like, am I trying to increase my endurance or am I trying to increase my recovery? So the first answer is the workout that you like, that you're excited about, and that you want to do is the best workout. For me, and I'm like you, the one that varies enough that I'm interested and that my body doesn't get bored, because that's the big piece of it. You can literally do push-ups, pull-ups, planks, and squats for the rest of your life, and pretty much with deadlifts included there probably, because that's a posterior chain that we really need. But within that world, that's pretty much it. You've got 5 exercises that if you do those exercises, that is your body's entire range of motion. Now, should we adapt and do some lateral stuff? Yeah. Should we adapt and do some contraction movements with our core and some rotational power pieces? Yeah. Should we do some explosive movements, some isolateral stuff where I'm doing one-handed presses and rows? Yeah, probably, because you want to adapt and change your body, because eventually your body will adjust and get stronger from doing the same motions, which is what you want, but then you have to pay attention and adjust and change it accordingly. So the answer is the one that keeps you motivated and the one that varies the literal mechanical movements of your body in a way that challenges them continuously. Because your body has biomechanical movements. You push and pull with your upper body. You squat and lift with your back, or your legs. So that's it. I mean, you can complicate that. We can challenge it, but the movements that are most fit to your body's mechanical movements are the structural movements that we just described. So that's what you should do. Stick with the ones that work for you right now. And then when you get bored, we'll switch it up.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Because the answer is focus behind it. So the translation of all of that to quality over quantity is, it does not matter how many push-ups I do if they all suck. It doesn't matter how long I was on the treadmill if I was staring at my phone the whole time and really not elevating my heart rate, right? So it is about how focused I am in the actual muscle movement of the exercise as opposed to the amount of repetitions. Because I can do 100 push-ups that really terrible form and I'm jerky and out of position. That's got nothing to compare to 20 amazing, really solid, good squeeze push-ups, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, man. Well, what is my homework for this week? And then where can people find you?
Good question. All right. So your homework this week is to food prep. I like it. Take that menu and take it to the next step. Go shop, do the food prep. Your self-care is your homework.
Okay.
A little bit of self-care on yourself. And fitness. Let's start a fitness habit. Are you doing anything in the mornings yet? Getting up and moving?
Not right now. Not in the last week.
So that was working for you for a while. Do you think that that's possible to reset and start doing again? Or do you want to find a different time?
No, I definitely think that that's possible.
Sweet. So your homework is to refocus your mornings. Even if it's 5 minutes. Where's that? Hey, there's the camera. 5 minutes is better than nothing. So even if you get up late, even if you hit the snooze button, you're still going to spend 5 minutes moving your body. We're looking for about a half an hour, ideally, but 5 minutes of moving your body. Whether it's a workout, it's a walk, it's stretching, it's yoga, physically moving your body for at least 3 days a week.
All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
All right. It's starting to rain and I'm outside, so tell people where they can find you.
It's funny, actually. I was going to say, I love having live plants around me in the house, and we grow a lot of stuff around the house and in the house. And I have to say, though, I think you got a better office today up until this moment.
Yeah. I'm very upset.
You're a very good office, but we'll get you out of the rain. You can find me at thrivetrainingteam.com. Shoot me a message. There's contact options on the bottom of every page. If you ever have any questions relating to your health and fitness, I'm here for you. Keep it smart.